Imagine yourself the following scenario. You buy a card online for a couple of hundreds of bucks to make for a nice addition to your collection, you think. And when it finally shows up, you find it in a beaten up, plain white envelope with not even a sleeve to protect it on its long journey. And for that reason, today I will be showing you how to prepare and protect your cards the correct way when you send them out by mail. So as you can see, I've got some items here on the table with me. Now on both sides, those are things that we'll be using to protect our cards with and to send them out in. At the center bottom here, we've got 3 Pokemon cards that I'll be using as an example. And at the top center, we have 2 cards which are already prepared and are ready to be shipped out. And that is what we try to achieve. So how exactly do we do this? Well, first of all, let's have a look at these 3 cards. Now these are just 3 random Pokemon cards from the base set, which is the very first set ever be released. Which means these hold a lot of nostalgia and for that reason also have quite some value still. Now as you can see, they're also still in a very nice condition. They do have some whitening, some edge wear here and there, but overall still nice, meaning that I can definitely still sell these. So let's assume that indeed we have sold these. The first thing that we'll be needing are sleeves. Now I have here with me 2 different packs of sleeves. On the left I have the Perfect Fit sleeves by KMC. On the right I have Ultra Pro card sleeves, also known as penny sleeves. Now the penny sleeves will be a lot cheaper compared to the perfect size sleeves. Because the perfect size, as the name suggests, are perfect size for Pokemon cards. If we for instance take a Haunter here and we put one in the perfect size sleeves, you will see it fits like a glove. You know, there is no excessive amount of sleeves at the sides here. This one just, it sits in there perfectly. It's not going to shift around or anything. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. If we however take one of the penny sleeves, we put Magikarp in there, we can see that this one is a lot wider and both top and bottom as well as both sides, the card can still shift around in there if it wants to. If we however take Nidoking here, which I've already prepared, if we zoom in or we have a little closer look, we are able to tell that this one has 2 sleeves. So we can see the perfect size sleeve fitting around the card perfectly, of course, and then 1 penny sleeve as well. So if I take my Haunter again, and perhaps you've already noticed it just now, I put this one with the end on top, so the entrance to the sleeve would be at the bottom. And then I put the bottom of the card to the bottom of this penny sleeve. This is what we call double sleeving. So there we go. That is the card now secured already in a sleeve. Very important. Now we will be taking these, which are known as Toploaders. And that is because we put these at the top. So there is an opening here. There we go. We just kind of put the card in there. It's just the perfect size for a card. We just put it in there. And as you can see, it doesn't go all the way down. But very easy trick. Just tap it on a flat surface and there you go. You see that the card dropped all the way to the bottom without damaging it. And now this card, you can move around with it. It's not going to shift. It's not going to move around freely. This is as good as it's going to get. Now I have here a couple of different cards with me that are also already put in a top loader the same way. I've got a Sandslash, a Zubat, you know, some random Pokemon cards. So let's say that we've sold these 6 cards here. We can't just put them in an envelope just like this. That is still not good. You know, that will still maybe damage the card somehow, because let's say that there is some water damage and the water gets in these top loaders. There will be condensation. Things will get moist. Very, very bad for the cards because after all, they're just pieces of cardboard. What we do for that is move to this. These are known as team bags, or also known as resealable bags. And as the name suggests, they have a resealable strip, like it shows here. These are from Ultra Pro again. Resealable strip. This is from a different brand. Again, different sizes, different shapes. Well, not shapes, different sizes mainly. And also different prices. So I'm just going to take one of these. We put them in there, the different top loaders. There we go. Just nice and easy. There we go. Look at that. Perfect fit. Has 6 top loaders in there right now. Resealable strip. We pull it off. And we just glue it down to the front. There we go. Look at that. 6 top loaders. The cards can move around with this. Nothing is happening to this, nothing at all. This is the way that you've sold them to the customer. This is the way that he's going to receive them, which is very important to a collector. Condition is everything. I cannot stress that enough. If you send out cards that end up in a different condition than you sold them in, you've got an issue. Now, what do you do if you have a bunch of cards that you're selling in one go and you don't have enough material, such as top loaders? First of all, we're gonna take these sleeves again, the Ultra Pro penny sleeves. So these, as we know, as we saw earlier, are bigger and they're a lot cheaper to buy as well. So what we're gonna do, we just take a bunch of cards here. Let's go with the Digimon cards. They're already sleeved as well. Doesn't really matter. We just put all of those. There is maybe 10 cards or something here now. There we go. We can all fit them in there. See? They're not going to shift around or anything, and they will be staying in there. Then we've got 3 more Digimon and a couple of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Now, as you can see, Yu-Gi-Oh cards are smaller, so you can always pack more in one penny sleeve as well than Pokemon and Digimon or any other TCG. But you can just put these in. Let's go, there we go. So put all of these in there together. And again, these are not going to shift anywhere. They are there to stay. So even now, your common cards are secured. They are kept safe. Nothing is going to happen to them. What we're going to do now is make a sort of sandwich. So we just put the common cards on top of one of the top loaders, sort of in the middle. We put the other top loader on top of that. And now we take a piece of tape again. And what we're going to do, just keep those together. Just tape the 2 top loaders to each other. Just like this. Just like that. Put it here as well on the other side. You can even go top and bottom if you want. I'm just going to use it like this. But yeah, most of the time you would go with top and bottom as well. To really make sure nothing's going to happen. To also make sure that the top loaders at the top will be secure as well. But there we go. We've got ourselves a little sandwich of cards now, and I can shake this. You see the cards in the middle are not falling out. The commons are secure in there. And then of course we take one of these bags again. We just put them in there. Et voila! Easy. Ready to be shipped. Once the cards are protected, of course we would need an envelope to ship them in. Now the most common one would be this one right here, which is a plain white envelope. Now I personally am not a big fan of these because if we put these in there, it has a certain thickness, it has a certain weight. Depending on the post office, you know, depending on where you have to ship it, this can get damaged, it can get, you know, it rips very, very easily. It's just paper, of course. So we might not want to use that. Of course, it will be cheaper. So if you do come to an agreement with your customer, perhaps he does prefer it that way, but I do not. What I like to use are these. These are padded envelopes, also known as bubble wrap envelopes or, you know, protective envelopes, whatever you want to name them. So these, I don't know if it really will show up on camera that well, but these have the bubble wrap inside, the one that goes exactly. So these of course are a lot sturdier. So if we put our cards in there we go. Look at this, huh? That is already a lot sturdier. Got that protective envelope around there. And then again, resealable strap. We pull it off. We just tape it down. Easy as that. Look at that. Your cards are as secure as they can be. Write down the address here. You put the stamps down. Maybe what I also like to do is glue this down again with some tape. You know, just take some tape. There we go. Just some extra protective layers to make sure this is not going to be opened and those cards will get there in one piece. Now I can hear some of you thinking, what if I don't have top loaders, I don't have sleeves and all of that, I don't have it at home because it's quite a niche product. I don't know where to get them. Maybe you found your old school collection of cards from when you were a child in the attic in a cardboard box and you want to sell these. What do? I suggest that you go to the grocery store or the supermarket and you buy yourself some of these. These are the resealable bags that people will use in, you know, to put sauce or soups in and then freeze them in. And as you can see, these always come in different sizes as well. So we've got a smaller one here, we've got a bigger one. There is all different ones that you can get. And, you know, they're very, very cheap to get in a bulk. And you can always use them for different things later on as well. So yeah, you can do it like this. You can just put them in there like this. Wouldn't recommend it. They can still shift around that way. You see? Oh, there we go. They're already shifting around. What I suggest you do, and this is something that I always do as well when I prepare a package, when I just put them in top loaders and the item bags or the team bags, I take a piece of paper. Take a piece of paper here. We just kind of put them on there. And we just kind of fold that piece of paper. We're kind of gonna wrap them in like a Christmas present, sort of. There we go. Just kind of want to wrap them in. There we go. There we go. Just gonna be careful, of course. Do not put too much pressure on these sides, because we don't want to damage the sides or the corners, because that is quite important. There we go. And then you can just make sure that when you go from the top and bottom, this is where my cards start. There is still a bit of space between the place where you bend them and the cards where they start. Because again, we do not want to damage the corners. We do not want to bend the sides or anything. Because that is, again, very, very important to any collector out there. So there we go. Now we've got ourselves a small little package. We take some tape. There we go. And we just tape them together. There we go. And then you can just put them in the bag there. There we go. And that's already a lot better. The cards are not going to shift. They will have an extra layer of protection. You can make it, you can see that like a sort of homemade sleeve if you must. And then you just put them in that bag. You tape down the bag. And you can send them off like this. However, there is one more thing that I suggest you would do. And this is also something that I would do if I, for instance, only have one top loader to sell and not a bunch. What we can do now, we take a piece of thin cardboard. There we go. Got some thin cardboard. And let's say that we will be shipping it out in a plain white envelope. This is the one that I ripped earlier. Doesn't matter. Let's assume it is new. It is still better to go this way than nothing at all. We can just put the cards in there like this, but we're not going to do that. What we're going to do, or a top loader, you know, what we're going to do, take a piece of cardboard. We kind of measure the ladder. So let's say that it runs, you know, I always take a little bit off. Here you can see that I'll show you. There's a bit of space left in the corners and on the sides as well. And then you kind of just draw your lines. Just like that. That's where you know, oh, the card or the cardboard is going to go this way. Just doesn't really matter that much. We're going to cut this out. Now, of course, we do want to have two sides to it. So we just keep on cutting. There we go. There we go. So this is where we're going to bend it. Approximately. And then we have this piece. We cut this piece off. Welcome to a hobby tutorial, by the way. And then we can put our cards or our top loader between that. Do it like this. Again, take some tape. And then we just tape it all down. There we go. There we go. And you just do this for all sides. Because that card... I mean, what you could also do, which is what I forgot right now, but which is what I normally do. You will have to put some tape on the top loader as well, or on the bag of cards, just like this. So that card is not going to move either. Just like this. Do it like this right now. And then you put it together. Take some tape. Put the tape on the sides. Every side. Very important. I'm just going to do it on one right now. And then we put it in the plain white envelope after all. And I think I made a small miscalculation. There we go. There we go. Voila. And the card is now secured. Voila. There we go. Your card is ready to be sent. Very easy, very cheap way, but it is still better to keep it protected this way than to just ship it out randomly. You know, you can use this technique with the sealable bags that we just saw on the piece of paper. There's a lot of options. There's a lot of homemade options that you can do as well if you don't want to spend money, you don't have the items. But again, it is better to do it this way than just to throw the cards in there and hope that they will make it. Because you never know what happens along with the post office. If it goes overseas, perhaps, you never know. And again, condition is everything to a collector, everything. Anyway, ladies and gents, thank you all so much for watching. I hope that this tutorial was helpful. I hope that you've learned something. I know that you've been new to the hobby, you've been collecting for a longer time, you're just trying to sell an old bunch of cards. Doesn't matter, I hope it was useful. If it was, then please let me know by leaving a like. Let me know in the comments down below. If you've got any more questions, feel free to ask. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and we will see each other in a next video. Take care, everybody. Bye bye!